Hello and welcome to another episode of Not Too Deep. I'm your host, Grace Ann Helbig the First. Today we have Kat McNamara with us. She's a superhero on the CW. You've seen her in the Arrow, in the Shadows, in all of it. She cannot be stopped. Also, she has an incredibly genius brain. To humble brag about her brain, she graduated high school at 14, graduated college at 17, so try not to feel insecure in this beautiful conversation with Kat McNamara.
Not too deep.
Turn your great idea into a reality with Squarespace. They make it easier than ever to launch your passion project, whether you're showcasing your work or selling products of any kind. They have beautiful templates and the ability to customize just about anything so you can easily make a website all by yourself. But if you get stuck, they have 24/7 award-winning customer support that is there to help you out. So head to squarespace.com/grace for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code GRACE to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Not too deep. Not too deep. With Grace Helbig.
Kat, I'm so thankful that you're here. One, also, the pink hair looks great on you.
Thank you very much.
What is this?
It's for an upcoming project.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's not a personal choice, it's a project choice.
No, I always say this. I have no courage when it comes to my own hair in making crazy choices, but if it's for a job, I will do just about anything. Yeah.
Literally anything.
I actually really hope at some point in my career I have to shave my head for a role just because I know I'll never do it for myself.
Have you had those fantasy actress dreams of doing the cry in a mirror, shaving your head scene?
That's on my bucket list.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're manifesting that for you today.
Perfect.
I think there's stuff in the future. Okay. In looking you up and researching you, and not to be like a stalker or a creep.
Stop away.
Are you exhausted? Because reading your whole life story via the internet, which I want to talk about, like how that's different than what your actual life story is, you should be asleep right now. You do so much.
I'll tell you my secret.
What is it?
Coffee and stubbornness.
And stubbornness.
Yes.
Okay. Is that a type of sugar?
No, I've never needed much sleep in my life. It's just kind of how I'm made, I guess, which I'm okay with.
I mean, it seems like you have a very active and functional brain, so that probably never falls asleep at night.
Maybe never fully. I don't actually know. But truly, I commit my time to things that I really care about and things that mean a lot to me and things that I want to be doing.
Yeah.
So if I have to get out of bed at 4 or 5 in the morning to get them done, I'm going to do it. It's so worthwhile to me.
Well, in my research of you, one, you're a complete brainiac. You are an amazing actress. You are an amazing musician. You are also an amazing selfie taker. You have what I call like selfie hands, selfie arms. Like you have a selfie stick as an arm on your Instagram. I love it so much that I always get tasked with taking selfies because I have long limbs. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you've just dominated that whole field.
Well, then you understand. You have selfie stick arms too.
Yeah.
My arms are disproportionately long for my body, as are my legs. So it just
But in
works
this
out.
era, it's the perfect time to have long arms like that. Okay, I want to go back to the beginning. I want to talk about, so you're from Kansas City, and then take me through Kansas City to graduating high school at 14, to going to Drexel at 17. Mm-hmm. Talk me through that period.
So I'm from a family of science and medical professionals. So education is very important.
Aren't we all?
Well, education has always been very important in my family and a huge priority. And I thought I was the black sheep of the family when I wanted to be an economist.
How many siblings do you have?
None.
None. Okay.
But
Got
just
it.
everybody
So
in my
that's an easy
family.
question.
Yeah, exactly. But everybody from my mom to my great aunts to my grandmother, grandfather, great grandmother, great
All
grandmother.
science.
Everybody's all science and medicine. And then there's me who decided she wanted to do economics until I became an actor. And then that just was a total other level of departing from the family line.
Yeah.
But I had an amazing educational kind of perspective as a kid due to my family, but also due to one of my first teachers. And I'm still friends with her to this day. And she's just one of the most amazing women I've ever met.
Like high school teacher?
No, like preschool teacher.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she saw this propensity for learning and this potential in me and fostered it and really pushed me and presented education as discovery and joy and a way to kind of uncover the world around you. And so with my entire life, I've looked at education in that way. And I've looked at school as something fun, something exciting. And my mom and grandmother and everybody continued to foster that in me as I was going through school. And so that's something that it's always made learning fun. Yeah. And it's always made school joyful.
Yeah, that perspective, that framework of education makes it seem like it's a privilege rather than a task.
Exactly.
Like you get the opportunity to expand your brain rather than you have to do this certain thing.
Exactly.
That's very cool.
Exactly. So I've always loved school. I was a huge math nerd growing up, which is why I ended up sort of in economics, because I loved with math, especially higher math, that it's like a puzzle to figure out. It's something you have to solve. And there's an answer somewhere in there. You just have to find it.
There's a finite answer. It's not this amorphous thing.
Most times. And then once I discovered that those formulas and graphs and thought processes could be used to apply and explain these phenomena of the world in economics, that fascinated me even more. So then I decided I wanted to go into developmental economics, which I did pursue. I ended up getting my degree in...
What does that mean?
Developmental economics?
Yeah. If you could break it down for what I will call the dumbasses like myself of the world, how do you describe what that field is?
Are you ready for me to nerd out for a minute?
I'm bracing myself.
Okay, brace yourself. Basically, we exist in a world that has different levels of countries as they're developing. So you have the giant, huge countries of the world that control most of the global economy. And then you have these developing countries that are building momentum quickly, but need capital in order to get a solid footing.
Okay.
So developmental economics, it sort of combines economics and anthropology in a way where it's very specific and it's all down to the minutia of each situation, which is why I loved it so much. Because you go into these countries and you help them figure out ways to set up economic structures and to set up their systems in a way that will help use the capital from these developed countries to build them, but not to a point where they will be inhibited by their relationships with the bigger countries, so that they can eventually have a sense of ownership over what they're doing and they can become more independent as they grow.
Kat, if someone told me that when I woke up at 7 a.m. this morning, I would have a lesson on developmental economics, I would not have believed them, but thank you.
Well, there you go. I provide many services, my dear.
Are you interested? Do you watch Shark Tank?
I do from time to time.
Does that fascinate you? I mean, you must understand it on a level because I've been obsessed with Shark Tank recently, and I do not know much about the finances, business, etc. That must equate to you on a different level. That must speak a language to you that I can't speak.
I do love it. Whenever I check it out, that, and then there's a UK version as well that I've seen from time to time.
I have
called
not.
Dragon's Den.
Wow.
Yeah. So
it's called Dragon's Den?
It's called Dragon's Den.
They really went there.
I'm not sure which existed first, but they went there.
Wow.
So it's really fun to see. And I'm a huge fan of those kind of products, just to see what people are innovating and coming up with. It's fascinating.
I've found out that I have accidentally bought 6 Shark Tank products in going back and rewatching episodes.
Absolutely.
I'm so I'm feeding the dragon, basically.
As well you should.
Thank you. Okay, so now obviously you have this wonderfully rich economic, educational background. What shifts to acting? Where does this happen, and how do you even tell your parents? I feel like this is like a confession that you need to tell your parents of I'm so sorry, but I want to be an actress.
Well, this is how it happened. It's very funny. I always say I fell into it backwards because I never intended to pursue anything like this as a career when I was a kid. But I was a ballet dancer from the time I was very small. It was something I loved. It was my outlet, my escape. And
your artistry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I ended up running into a family friend who was directing a community theater show and needed a dancer. And I was the kid who would try anything. So I said, well, sure, let me give this a go. It'll be interesting, something new. We'll see what happens. I walked on stage on opening night, and it was one of those rare moments of clarity that you get in life where suddenly everything stopped. Everything was so crystal clear, and something hit me like a brick wall, and I just knew that I was put on this earth to tell stories.
Like a lightning rod. Yeah.
Like a lightning rod. I kid you not, and I have never looked back.
How old were you when this happened?
I think I was about 12.
Wow.
So pretty early on.
Yeah.
But I'm really
also in the
thankful
most
for that.
transformative years of your life. That you're like,
Exactly.
Yeah, this is the clarity that, I mean, I think everyone's searching for clarity at 12 years old.
I think everyone's searching for clarity in general.
Yeah. I'm still searching. I'm waiting to get an email response back.
Absolutely. But I was lucky. My family was actually really supportive of it in that they said, well, as long as you get a college education, pursue your dreams, see what happens.
That's what they said.
Absolutely.
Get an education and you can do this as well.
Yeah. And I think one of the most gratifying things over the last several years, as my career has kind of gotten more momentum and I have things that have a bit more longevity happening, my family's now started to see it more as a career and not as that thing that I'm doing before I actually settle down and have a career.
Yeah. This like flippant thing that is, just she's having a moment. And now it's like, oh, I get that this is a career.
Because where I'm from and in the kind of family that I'm from, things creative aren't necessarily, I didn't even know being an actor was a job when I was a kid. I didn't know that was a job that somebody could do. I wasn't quite sure how it happened, but I knew that
the amorphous state of acting existed
somebody
in the universe.
had to do it somehow, but I didn't conceptualize that it was, a job that somebody did as their full career. And it's just not something people think about, know? And so as this career happened and as my family learned more about it, they kind of went, oh, wow, this is actually really cool and something very interesting and can turn into something real. And it's been kind of amazing to see that.
Have you brought them out to LA to see certain steps in your career? Like, was there one kind of moment where you brought your parents out that they could actually like visualize and see like the success that you've had?
They visited from time to time, but I didn't really take people to a set until the Shadowhunters set because I wanted to have something that was like established and it was mine and it was, something that it was my home that I could show them. And my grandparents loved Shadowhunters. They watched it. They watched it every week.
Wait, your grandparents loved it?
Oh, they would call me about it. It was so sweet. And so my grandparents and my mom came to visit me in Toronto right before we shot the series finale episodes. And I was able to take them through the set and kind of show them everything that had been built over the last 4 years.
I mean, it's literally like you're taking them to your house and giving them a cribs tour of like, welcome to my crib.
That's exactly what it was. And it was so wonderful because I got to introduce them to so many people who had become my family. And it was amazing to watch them discover the set in the way that I had discovered it the first time. Because I'll never forget the first time I walked onto that set 4 years ago.
Like?
Well, because they had built it and we had just done the first table read and they were all excited to show us. We were all together as a group, brand new, fresh off the boat, little babies coming into our brand new show, not knowing anything that was about to happen to us. And I remember walking into the Institute set, which was this big kind of headquarters for the Shadowhunters. And there were glass and screens and all these old church walls. And it was kind of our bat cave.
Yeah.
And we walked onto set and I was speechless instantly. It was so grand. It was so beautiful and well done and just beyond my imagination.
It's real. This is real.
Yeah.
This is happening.
Yeah. And I knew from that point forward that set was going to be something special. I mean, it became a character in and of itself, just like the entire cast and crew did.
Yeah. Have you, do your mom and your grandmother have affinities towards certain members of the cast?
Actually, because they're my big brothers, I think they kind of see them that way as well.
Family. It's everyone's family.
No, it's true. It's funny because the boys give me trouble about things all the time. And my mom has a great sense of humor. So she'll come to set and she's gotten to know a couple of them where she can do the same with them. And it's funny to watch them do a double take because my mom has a great sense of humor.
Oh, that's great. And also she's coming from such an educational background that she's like, I don't know what you guys do. So I'm coming in with a fresh brain on all of this.
Exactly. You
You guys must have become such an insane family after that. It's been 4 years in total?
Yeah.
That's a college education.
It was. It sort of was my college years because I graduated university when I was 17. And
Just
then
a very easy thing for everyone to do and aspire to do. Good luck. It doesn't happen to everyone. Only good brains do it.
But what that left is when I booked Shadowhunters when I was 19.
That's bonkers.
It was pretty bonkers. And so I'm moving.
Do you remember the call that you got?
Vividly.
Yes.
Vividly. It was an experience. Basically, they had announced on Twitter that they were going to say who Clary was in 2 hours. And I still hadn't heard anything.
Wait, they announced on Twitter?
On the Shadowhunters Twitter, because they were building, there was some, because of the book series.
This is such modern social media. This is nuts.
It was amazing. Well, because the book series had such a following,
right.
People wanted to know who was being cast as the show was being developed. And they were announcing us character by character. And I knew it was between me and one other actress. And they said, okay, in 2 hours, hashtag who is Clary? Who's it going to be?
So you were following along with everyone else.
And I didn't know. And so I assumed that it wasn't me. And so I said,
this
okay.
This is nuts. Just so you know, this is nuts.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
So I saw that and I went, oh, okay. Well, it must have not gone my way because I haven't heard anything yet. So that's fine. That's wonderful for her. And then
I'm happy for her for this. Yeah.
Well, you have to be at that point, right?
Yeah.
And so I get a phone call saying, hey, wait a second. We haven't heard anything. They haven't said who it is. They haven't announced it yet to even us. Nobody's teams have heard anything. So just hold tight. And so I'm going, okay. So then I'm waiting and I'm waiting.
I'm nervous and I already know the outcome of this story.
Yeah. And who is Clary is trending on Twitter. And there's all of these things happening. And I'm sitting here going, but I still haven't heard anything. How is this possible?
God.
So I go to the gym because I'm like, I have to do something with this
get
energy.
The nervous energy
so
out.
I'm like running on the treadmill. And then 10 minutes before the 2 hours is up, I get a phone call. And they say, congratulations, you will be playing Clary Fairchild in the Mortal Instruments Shadowhunters show. We are so excited to have you, blah, blah, blah. And oh, by the way, can you swing over to the ABC family offices because we want to make some social media videos with you?
We have 10 minutes for you to say yes to this so that we can announce it on Twitter.
Pretty much. And then it was announced. And then so I had 10 minutes where I just didn't know what to think because the entire world was about to find out. And this fandom that had such opinions and was so excited. And I was just hoping that I hope they are okay with it being me.
Well, I mean, there's so much joy and pressure at the same time.
But I have to say, they gave me the warmest welcome, the fandom, and it's been that way ever since. And it's been the biggest joy getting to go on this journey with them and create this story and having them be such a part of it. It's been so lovely.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. I want to get more into the fandom. Arrow, Shadowhunter, everything. We're just scratching the surface. We'll be right back with more Not Too Deep.
Not too deep. With Grace Helbig.
We have support from Buffy today. Buffy makes bedding that is earth-friendly and cruelty-free. Their products are made using only sustainable and recycled materials, which makes them as soft on the planet as they are on your bed. Their latest product, The Breeze, is a comforter made entirely from 100% eucalyptus fiber to regulate temperature and keep you cool and comfortable all night long. It regulates temperature, which means no more night sweats. As someone that occasionally gets night sweats, I can't help it. It happens when you're an adult, I guess. This has been a godsend. The Breeze is made of eucalyptus fabric inside and out. It's softer than cotton and naturally soothes skin. It's also hypoallergenic. In fact, its high thread count shuts out dust, mold, and mites for a healthier sleeping environment. They also offer a free trial. You can try a comforter in your own bed for free, and if you don't love it, return it at no cost. I have almost the entire collection of Buffy products. I've got the Breeze. I've got the other comforter that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head. I also have their eucalyptus sheets, which I highly recommend. I love all of it. And why not choose 100% plant-based bedding that's better for you and the earth? And you guys can get $20 off your Buffy comforter by visiting buffy.co and entering the code NTD. That's buffy.co, buffy.co, and code NTD for $20 off your Buffy comforter. We are back. So I want to talk about like the social media phenomenon of all of these shows that you were involved in. were you involved in social media leading up to these shows? Like, obviously we all have Facebooks, we all have Twitters, whatever, but like, I'm sure this show really kind of thrust you into a place of, now I need to participate in social media.
For sure. I mean, I'd done some work with Disney Channel back in the day and did some with the Maze Runner movie series, garnered a little bit of traction in that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until Shadowhunters that things kind of exploded from that first moment. And since then, it's just been a rolling machine. But and with Arrow as well, these fandoms are so fierce and they're so passionate.
So engaged. It's
And
insane.
What a gift that is, though.
Yeah.
Because, so often we pour our blood, sweat, and tears into things and it goes out into the world and people just go, oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. But if one person actually connects with what you're doing, it's like the most incredible feeling.
Absolutely. And because I've been so close with the Shadowhunters fans for years, it's been really incredible to watch them grow, because it started with the book fans and then it was the book and the movie fans and then the TV show fans came in and it just blossomed into this beautiful thing. And because of the diversity of the characters in our show, be it in race and sexuality and relationships and every aspect, we pretty much have everything in Shadowhunters, which is why I love it so much.
There's something for everyone.
Exactly. And people connect so much with it. And I think the reason for that is, the mythology of our show. I'm going to get a little fandom-y on you for one second.
Please, because everyone that's listening to this for you wants this moment right now.
So in the world of Shadowhunters, we have angels and demons and werewolves, warlocks, fairies, Shadowhunters, everything. They all exist on a scale from angel to human to demon, where Shadowhunters are half angel, half human.
Wow, isn't that such a human scale too?
Yeah. So Shadowhunters are half angel, half human. Warlocks are half demon, half human. Fairies are half angel, half demon. And werewolves and vampires are humans with a demon disease. So everybody kind of exists within that gray area.
This
right?
is some Carl Jung, Freud shit right now.
But in the end, kind of what the whole message of the story is that no matter what kind of blood you have coursing through your veins, no matter what you were born, no matter what you become, it's the choices that you make that make you who you are and make you a hero or a villain. And that kind of messaging has sort of spawned, the fans have taken that on as their own mission. And they've created, beyond our characters, beyond the story, beyond us, they have become this kind of community and this movement that just celebrates love and acceptance and being and expressing your true self. And I've seen them support not just us, but each other in their art and in their personal struggles.
You guys have created a community in which they can all support each other.
They did it all. We just got to bear witness. Truly. But it's incredible to see this sort of force of positivity and love that exists globally.
This will air in 2020. That's what we need.
It is.
When are you writing your self-help book? When can I pre-order it? What's happening? I feel like this is the obvious next step.
Yes, well, in the myriad of other things I'm doing, I'll just go ahead and write a self-help book. And,
but I feel like you
Coffee
don't
and
sleep.
Stubbornness. I don't sleep.
Coffee and Stubbornness is an amazing title for a self-help book. I'm putting out there to your publicist that's sitting to the left and putting it out into the ether.
Perfect.
This is an insane fandom. I want to know a little bit about, because it's so intense for a brain to process, like all of a sudden going from like Kansas City to now I'm in this, world in which people have created this entire fandom, et cetera. What are Comic-Cons or conventions like for you?
They are the most wonderfully inspiring, humbling, and exhausting things that I ever do.
Yeah.
But in the best way. I love them.
It's the sweetest energy of all time.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of people aggressively loving things.
Exactly. Well, that's why I love the multi-fandom cons as well, because you get to go and see people get so excited over everything and all the cosplay, and everybody's just there to celebrate things that they love.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
And I get to nerd out too. And it's so fun. I
You're in a safe
cosplay when
space.
I go. I think it's so fun. But then I've been to a lot of Shadowhunters specific conventions as well, which are argue, maybe more fun sometimes because we just get to kind of run amok and crash each other's panels and have so much fun. But it's really amazing to connect with the fans in that way because you get to talk to people and hear their stories and look at their art in person and just see them interact not only with us but with each other, which I love.
Cool.
I've had people come up to me and go, I'm so excited today because I'm meeting my best friend for the first time in person. We've been talking on Twitter for 2 years and they're here today. And it's my first time.
And you're an accidental matchmaker and it's so fun. Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, it's really amazing to kind of just feel this energy.
Have you ever had a fangirl moment with someone at a convention or even on a red carpet or anything like that?
I've had a few. I think the one that I always think of, because it was just, I can be an awkward human often.
Welcome to the club.
Great. I'm among my people. Thank you. I will never forget. It was one of my first times going to the whole Golden Globes after party situation, running around to all the different events where there's just everybody there and you're seeing all of these people. And I was walking through chatting with a friend and out of the corner of my eye, I just happened to see this glow and I wasn't sure what it was. So I look and it was Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively walking, floating, truly floating through the party. And something came over me. I just stopped and just went to just a neutral position. I think my jaw hit the floor and I just stared and followed them through the entire thing.
Wait, physically walked behind them?
No, my eyes just felt, pretty sure I made awkward eye contact with Blake Lively a few times.
Sure.
Just staring and following the entire path through. And then suddenly the spell was broken when I couldn't see them anymore. And I went about trying to figure out where I was. But that was pretty embarrassing.
They had an aura.
They truly did. They truly did.
Oh my goodness. Let's talk about music. What's going on there?
Isn't that the question? It's funny because the showrunners of Shadowhunters found out that I did music.
Right.
Because it's, in the rest of my career, I'm playing a character and it's someone else's words and someone else's shoes that I'm living in.
Yeah.
So music for me is my one outlet where I can put a little piece of my heart and soul out into the world.
Yeah.
And it's terrifyingly vulnerable, but in the most wonderful way.
Yeah.
So it's something that I really love. And I sent them a few of my songs because they wanted to hear them. And they said, oh, this one we love. We want to put it on the soundtrack of the season finale this year. I said,
okay.
Well, thank you. Sure. And it was released and people really responded to it. And it was in the top 100 on iTunes that week.
Amazing.
That it was released. And I was floored by the response. But it had been so long since I'd actually focused on music. I didn't have anything to follow it up with.
You're like, my brain energy is depleted because I'm working on so many.
I'm fighting demons 10 months a year.
I cannot fight my inner demons to make music right now.
Exactly. So and the song was called Ember. Having Ember out there has been great. And seeing people respond to it and seeing people really get excited about it, it's great. So now that I'm not fighting demons 10 months a year and I have a little bit more time on my hands, I'm digging back into music.
You are?
Yeah, I am, which is great. I'm so excited. I got to dabble a little bit this year in that I was a part of there's a Netflix series called Spirit Riding Free, and they did a Christmas special called The Spirit of Christmas.
And you're a voice in it.
And I'm a voice in it. I play a singer-songwriter named Sally Jessup.
What a stretch.
It was great. It was super fun. I got to go back to my Southern roots and got to sing some really, really wonderful Christmas songs.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so is this a thing on the horizon potentially to be more worked on?
The music side of things?
Yeah.
100%. It's something that I have so many songs that are just on my computer that are half finished or finished, or I have a bunch of songs.
Put them out there.
I need to. I've almost done a Halloween EP 3 times already.
A Halloween EP?
Yeah.
Really?
And it's just been a matter of paperwork that it hasn't gotten done.
This is the thing that everyone wants.
Yeah.
I mean, Mariah Carey has owned Christmas, right? But no one's owned Halloween.
We'll see. It'll be interesting.
Now's your time.
It is time. It is indeed.
Kat, the one thing I really want to ask you about, because you are incredibly busy and your brain is a beautiful thing. What do you do in your free time? How do you relax?
A couple things.
Okay.
fitness has become a huge part of my life since starting Shadowhunters.
Well, you must have to do stunt training and all of that for the show.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
I've been a dancer my whole life, so I've always been an athlete, but I'd sort of written off any potential for real physical strength for myself, given that I'm a tiny human.
I have written off physical strength as an attribute.
I did. I thought there's no way I can have any real modicum of physical strength. I'm tiny. It's just not a thing.
When the apocalypse happens, I'm going to be emotionally supporting everyone, not physically supporting
I'm
anyone.
research and recon in the apocalypse. I got this. I am prepared, and I am creative, and I have comic relief.
There you go.
No, but I started Shadowhunters, and I met all of these amazing trainers, and they said, no, you absolutely can be incredibly strong and fit and do all of these things. We just have to show you how. And they did. And it completely changed my world.
Wow.
It changed my life. It changed how I feel. It changed my body. It truly was kind of a revolution for me.
Yeah.
And so
that mind-body connection.
Exactly. It's kind of become my me time.
Yeah.
So I either go to a spin class, or I go box, or I go for a run, or I just go to the gym and lift. Every single day I try and do something because it just clears my head and puts me in the right space to do whatever it is else that I need to do that day.
I'm on the same boat that like I run as my relief, and I think I love it because I can't be on my phone. I can't talk to other people. It's literally just me and my brain in my body, and that's the most kind of relieving thing that happens. Yeah.
I usually listen to podcasts or
you listen to
audiobooks.
podcasts while you run?
Yeah, it's my favorite thing.
See, I listen to jock jams. To each their own.
Either way, it works. But so that's something I do in my free time. I also love to travel.
Yeah.
It's something that, I'm often in one place doing a job or bopping in and out here and there. But I love learning about the world by seeing it and experiencing how other people live their lives and just going to beautiful places, taking incredible pictures. My best friend's a photographer as well. So we just love to travel to beautiful places and take pictures and experience the culture.
I mean, what a great job for a best friend. Just casually take some beautiful
He's
photos.
also an incredible actor, but he takes incredible pictures.
Where's a place you haven't traveled to yet that's on your short list?
Oh, I'm dying to go to Indonesia. I'm dying to go to Seychelles. I've never been to Hawaii. Something as simple as Hawaii. I've never been.
That seems like an easy get, an easy go-to.
Pretty much everywhere I haven't been, though, I'd like to go at some point.
That's a safe statement.
Pretty much. Also, I don't know. It's the extravagant things and the simple things. The extravagant things like these grand trips that I love to plan in my head. But also something that I love doing in my free time is just sitting with family and friends or people I love, however you want to define that, and having a wonderful game night and just sitting down and laughing or cooking
just being
or
a human
watching
around
movie.
other people.
Yeah, but game night is one of my favorite things because you can't help but laugh
What's your
and
game?
have a good time. It can be any. I mean, I love Mafia. I love running charades.
Okay.
What else do I love to play? Linky. Have you ever heard of Linky?
No, but it sounds like a cute app.
It is an app, actually. It's also an app, and it's wonderful. It's sort of a category game where you answer 4 questions and they all lead to one response, and you have to. Anyway, it's a long story, but it's a wonderful game, and it's super fun.
Do you watch television? I mean, you're on it so much. Do you actually watch it?
I do. Yeah.
What do you watch?
I watch a lot of things, actually.
Okay.
Because I kind of keep it on in the background while I'm doing other things.
Yeah, it's my music. Yeah.
Exactly. I just finally, I'm so behind though. I just finished watching Fleabag.
See, I haven't even gotten to that.
Oh, you must.
I know,
You
I
must.
hear.
There are very few series that I would attribute to being perfect series. Like Mad Men is one.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad is another.
Yeah.
Fleabag is another. It is one of the most poignant, smart, funny, heartwarming, heartbreaking series.
I watched 2 episodes on a plane because that was all that was available, and it teased me to no end. And I know that I have to emotionally prepare myself if I'm going to finish the series because it is that enriching and that engaging.
I had watched 1 episode a long time ago and then finally circled back to it, and I watched the rest of them in 24 hours. I could not stop watching.
See, that's how I am with the Great British Baking Show.
That I probably would love, considering I'm a baker. I've been told to watch that so many times.
You're a baker and you don't watch Great British Baking Show? Well, you might be offended by it because I don't bake at all, so that's why I can indulge in it. But I feel like bakers might be like a little more sensitive.
I highly doubt. I think they're the experts, and I'm a recreational baker. No, but I think I would enjoy it.
Other than Fleabag, anything else you're watching currently?
I'm currently watching season 3 of Mrs. Maisel. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah,
it's so lovely. What else do I watch? I'm trying. Oh, Succession.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Have you seen it?
Yeah, and it's real good.
It's so good.
It's real good, and it makes me mad when I watch it because it's so good, and
It's
all
so
of the
good.
actors are incredible on it. And I have to like stand. My boyfriend and I watch it. I have to like stand up and walk around the room because I'm just like so aggressively, like intensely into every person's character.
Exactly. It's to me, watching Succession is like eating at a Michelin star restaurant.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah, it's so rich. But I'm like, I don't deserve this.
No. And you just get little tiny bites, and then that's it.
Yeah,
And then it's gone. And you want more.
It's so okay. Quick question before we take one last break and answer some Twitter questions. What's like a dream role a character that you'd want to play?
Ooh, a dream character that I want to play.
Or like character
I can give
type.
you one. It's kind of silly, but I can give you one. So the Broadway show that I did, which is the job that took me out of Kansas City, is A Little Night Music. And it's one of my favorite shows. But what's so special about it is it has characters for women kind of at every age.
Okay.
And so I played the youngest character in the show who's, she's 12. I was 14 when I did the show.
What a reach.
I know, right? But I worked with some incredible women on it. And there's a character that's my character's grandmother. And it was played by Angela Lansbury and then Elaine Stritch when I did the show. And those women are my heroes. They taught me everything I know. They saved me, literally and figuratively. But I would love to play Madame Armfelt one day in A Little Night Music if it were ever to come back to Broadway.
Knocking on all the
when
wood.
I'm 94, because Elaine was 94 when she did the show.
Wow.
And so I'm dying to play Madame Armfelt when I'm 94.
All right. Well, there's still time.
Yeah.
We'll put that out there now.
I'm going to start developing it now, and maybe by the time I get there.
Yeah, we'll wait 50 years and see what happens. Okay, we're going to take one last break. When we get back, we have a bunch of Twitter questions for you because, as you know, this fandom is engaged with everything that you're up to. So we'll be right back with more Not Too Deep.
Not too deep. With Grace Helbig.
It is time to turn your dream into a reality with guess who? Squarespace. They make it easier than ever to launch your passion project. Are you looking to start a new business? Do you want to showcase your work? Do you want to publish content or sell products or more? Squarespace is the tool for you. They have beautiful templates created by world-class designers and the ability to customize just about anything with a few clicks so you can easily make a beautiful website all by yourself. Plus, they have powerful e-commerce functionality that lets you sell anything online and analytics that help you grow your site in real time. Everything is optimized for mobile right out of the box. There's nothing to patch or upgrade. Buying domains is simple, and you can get the help that you need with their 24/7 award-winning customer support. They empower millions of people, designers, lawyers, artists, gamers, even restaurants and gyms to turn great ideas into something real. So head to squarespace.com/grace for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code GRACE to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's squarespace.com/grace. Offer code GRACE. Okay, we're back. Before we get into these Twitter questions, I'm going to ask you the two questions I ask every single guest that is on the podcast. The first is, who, alive or dead, would you most want to throw cold spaghetti at?
Throw cold spaghetti at?
Alive or dead doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing. It can be celebratory if you choose. Entirely up to you. It can be negative.
I think, who would I want to throw cold spaghetti at?
Yeah, this question really boggles a lot of people's brains.
Consider me boggled. I would like to throw cold spaghetti at...
And it can also change day to day. So this is your answer today. It can change tomorrow.
Okay.
So it's not definitive.
Okay.
This is how I know that you have a very intelligent brain, is that I can literally, like that meme of a
Zach
beautiful
Galifianakis.
mind.
Yeah, I think Zach Galifianakis from The Hangover when he's
There is so much happening in your brain that you're trying to work out right now. I feel like you're doing a quadratic equation right now.
Oh, I am. Sorry, was there a question? Okay, I'll just pick something. I would like to throw cold spaghetti at. I actually rather like cold spaghetti. Truly,
me too.
It's actually quite yummy.
It's my favorite form of spaghetti.
Yeah, cold leftovers. It's like cold pizza, but in noodle form.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
My boyfriend thinks it's disgusting.
No.
I am trying to prove that it is the best way to go.
No, it is not. I am also an enjoyer of cold leftovers.
Thank you.
Actually, instead of throwing cold spaghetti at someone, I would like to invite you to a cold spaghetti food fight in which we can also eat the cold spaghetti.
This is the first time we've had this answer on Not Too Deep, and we've had 200 plus episodes. Wow. I RSVP to that food fight.
Huzzah! It's a date.
Okay, the other question that I ask every single guest is to tell us your worst pants shitting story or close call, but you can only use 3 words or 3 small phrases or a combination. So, for instance, mine is college, jogging, front lawn. Exactly. Yeah. So if you have a close call that you can describe to us in 3 small phrases.
Mine would be bad chicken, car, LA traffic.
Oh, God. Yeah, that
close call. But
I feel like every single person in this room can relate to that story.
Thank goodness for squats because I have muscular strength in that area.
Really, Kegels and squats do wonders for the body. All right, let's get into these Twitter questions. Someone wants to know, before she had her own costume on Arrow, whose superhero suit did she want to steal?
Ooh. I'm laughing because I always joke about this with someone. I always threaten to steal Superman's cape because then you can fly anywhere and get there quickly. That's, airline travel is a wonderful thing, but also it takes so much time.
It's so much time. And also, I mean, we just spoke about LA traffic. If we all had that availability, I think we'd alleviate the highway system.
For sure. But I do have to say, the watching them build my Arrow suit was incredible. They're
what
such
was that
experts.
like?
It was amazing because I got to, I was there for the fittings because it had to be on my body.
Yeah.
It was incredible because they've done so many and they've done so many so well that they're such masters, and their creativity when it comes to detail is the most amazing thing. For example, on my suit, you can't see it in most of the shots, but it's made of this material called Euro jersey, which is like this really thin, stretchy fabric. But they had the stuff for my suit printed with little teeny tiny arrowheads all over it in 2 different patterns.
Whoa.
So my entire suit is made up of little teeny tiny arrows.
So that's like a thing for you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's really cool because their whole idea was to base it off of Oliver's suit, but make it kind of new and a little more feminine, but then also
practical.
Make it arrow themed, have everything be an arrow. So every kind of shape is slightly like an arrowhead or
that's
cool.
Super cool.
It's amazing.
Also, I think it's very cool when they make women's superhero suits in a practical sense, right? That it's not like, here's my tits out and like I look hot, but like here I can fight crime and like kill bad guys and do cool things.
It's awesome. And it's so much fun to wear as well because you feel like a superhero.
Yeah.
You put on the suit, you look around and there's, a couple Supermen and the Flash and Supergirl and the Green Arrow. And you go, yeah, now I get to be one of the cool kids now. This is great.
I made the cut. Look at me.
Yeah. But it kind of makes you want to run around and jump and do cool things.
Yeah, that you want to parkour immediately.
Yeah. Also, I have to give a shout out to Stephen Amell because in season 1 of Arrow, he and the wardrobe department created this concept for the boots.
Okay.
Because obviously they have to look like big, hardcore boots. But he had the idea because he, like myself, does a lot of our own stunts.
Yeah.
Of going, well, it's going to be so impractical to have those heavy boots all the time.
Right.
Can we take the sole of a Nike or some kind of sneaker and make a boot on top of it? And they went, well, yeah, sure. So my superhero boots are basically
Sneakers.
running shoes.
Okay. How have you guys like marketed this? Take this to Shark Tank right now.
There we go. That's it. Let's go.
Take it to the icing. Take it to Spencer's Gifts. Just say goth boots, but you can run in them.
Yeah. No, but I have to give a shout out to Steven for that because that is a godsend.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And also helps you perform better because you're not just clunking around in a bunch of heavy boots.
Yeah, it makes me want to jump over things and shoot arrows.
Philip wants to know, I'm graduating college on Friday. What advice do you have for the future?
First of all, congratulations. It's a huge accomplishment and not an easy one. So kudos to you. Pat yourself on the back.
Yeah. Just a lighthearted, easy question to answer.
Treat yourself, first of all. Second of all, I would say be open to unorthodox opportunities that you wouldn't necessarily expect because the way the job market is now, I've seen a lot of my friends struggle in figuring out where to go and what to do because it's not an easy market always now, no matter what your industry is. So just leave yourself open, whatever your field is, to doing something kind of unexpected and making your own way. We live in a world with the internet now where you can do so much and create so many of your own opportunities.
Yeah.
Be open to that.
Yeah, there's no traditional path anymore. I also feel like, and maybe you resonate with this, is like find collaborators, find people that you admire and kind of use their path as inspiration.
Absolutely.
Yeah, which is kind of the coolest thing in the universe, to find people that you actually really love and admire. Alicia wants to know, if you could spend a day with any fictional character, who would it be?
Sherlock Holmes.
Really?
I'm a huge Sherlock Holmes fanatic. I grew up reading the books.
Whoa.
I've absolutely loved I think I've read pretty much every Sherlock Holmes story that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle wrote. But I love the character. He's a superhero to me.
Yeah.
Just the fact that he can create such inferences from the most mundane of details in things, and just put the way his powers of deduction are superpowers to me.
Do you find any interest in other like CSI type shows?
I do.
Okay.
I went on a huge, when I was a teenager, I went on a huge Criminal Minds binge.
Oh yeah.
And I watched this. I think my mom was a little worried about me at one point because I watched so much Criminal Minds.
You're just locked in your room watching Criminal Minds. It's like, she's an artist. I don't know.
Yeah.
She was into dance and now she's into Criminal Minds. I don't know what's going on.
I think it's just the psyche that fascinates, the human psyche that fascinates me. And that's kind of why I love being an actor too.
Yeah.
Because we get a script and that's sort of, we have all the information. We have the A to Z. We have all of the details in there. But then we have to figure out the why. And we have to figure out what takes that person and why they make those choices and what makes them make those decisions and why it is specifically that their perspective causes them to see the world in that way.
Oh, that's so cool.
And the fact that we get to create all of these characters and discover who these people are and figure out why they are the way they are, it's fascinating to me.
Well, I don't know why you haven't started writing the female Sherlock Holmes for yourself. I feel like that is also all knocking on all the wood.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I mean, I do have to say, Benedict Cumberbatch did it pretty well, but there's got to be room. He's got to have a kid out there somewhere.
In real life or on the show?
I mean, Sherlock Holmes
has
to have a child somewhere.
We're not breaking new news. No, Benedict Cumberbatch is Benedict Cumberbatch.
I love Benedict Cumberbatch.
What's your favorite memory from the Arrow set? That's probably hard to choose.
It's very hard to choose. I would say one of my favorite memories from the Arrow set was, it's sort of bittersweet. It's Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to pick one because there were so many of them. There was one day in particular when we were shooting the final episode that pretty much everybody was on set. And everybody came, and even people that weren't working that day showed up because so many people were wrapping right around that same time. And it hadn't really felt real for me because we did, the backdoor pilot and we did all of these other things that it didn't feel as though I was fully saying goodbye to this world.
Right.
And that made it so, not final, but it made me realize that it will never be the same. in that moment.
Yeah.
And it hit me because there's been so much love on that set and it's been so wonderful. And it's funny because I had a very similar moment on the set of Shadowhunters when we finished the series finale of Shadowhunters. Our final scene, everybody was on set. It was the big Malik wedding where, we had people coming in from all storylines, all seasons. Everybody was there.
Yeah.
We were having the wrap party on our stages because we were just going to run amok and celebrate and have a good time. And I remember we'd just wrapped, done the champagne toast, everybody applauded, and then everybody went to go change for the party. And I'm walking to the edge of the soundstage and I stop at the edge of the set. And I realized that it's the last moment that I'm going to be walking off set in character as the last time as Clary ever. And I didn't want to move. And I turned to Brian, who was our head makeup artist, because he was the only one kind of still there. And I said, Brian, I don't want to go.
Oh,
I had a Tom Holland moment. From I don't want to go. But eventually, I did, and the party was wonderful, and we all cried. And it was beautiful. But that those kind of moments always stick with me when you realize that it's not goodbye, but it's never going to be the same.
Yeah. But it's also really wonderful to have those moments of like present reflection, present like encouragement and like appreciation for those things, because otherwise everything passes you by like, cars on a highway, and then you never appreciate it.
Well, especially in our world where the one constant is that a project is going to end eventually, and you will have to move on to something else. Right. And it's, you get so close with people and you become such a family because you spend so much time and
so many
with vulnerable moments, and you really see each other at your best and your worst, and that brings you together.
Ugh. And it's true. I mean, it's hard I'm sure for you to really, really describe what it's like to be on those kind of sets, because it really is, you're spending 16 hours a day with these people, and to the people that you love in your, personal life, you're spending an hour with them.
Exactly. Maybe if you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky. And so like the pie chart of how much time you spend with these people is absolutely insane.
Yeah, and it's true. Well, and it's even more of a gift when you get to work with people that you really care about and can enjoy spending time with. And it does become a family, from the cast to the crew to everybody on that set. Yeah. Both Arrow and Shadowhunters. I've been really fortunate to have such positive experiences.
I cannot wait for what's next. Okay, let's get into a last question here. I'm trying to find the best last question. Well, here's a second to last question. Okay. As a KC native, what's your favorite barbecue spot?
Ooh, see, there's so many good ones. It's really hard to choose. I mean, Gates is amazing. Oklahoma Joe's is incredible. Oklahoma Joe's is special because it's in a gas station in the middle of nowhere in Kansas.
I mean, you don't have to ask me twice about getting food from a gas station. I'm from Jersey, so that's where most of my meals come from.
Well, Arthur Bryant's too is classic. There's so many incredible places in Kansas City. You really can't go wrong. I went back there there's a bunch of amazing actors and comedians that are all from Kansas City, and they do this thing called the Big Slick every year. Oh, that's cool. It's this huge charity event to benefit the Children's Hospital. And over the last 10 years, they've raised over $10 million for the hospital.
Amazing.
In one weekend last year, we raised $2.5 million. Wow. It's incredible what they do. But it all ended this year with a big variety show in the 5,000-seat stadium in Kansas City. Cool. And after that, they brought in a bunch of the top barbecue spots in Kansas City to feed everybody, because we were all hungry and tired and all that. And I realized I hadn't had proper KC barbecue in a very long time. Do you know what burnt ends are?
Burnt
ends? It's a Kansas City barbecue special. It's sort of the end of a brisket where it kind of just falls apart, and
I can infer what I think it is.
It's really like melts in your mouth, covered in sauce. Yeah. It's gorgeous. I think I had 3 full plates of burnt ends at 11 o'clock at night from all of these places.
Welcome home.
It was the best. It was amazing.
Okay, Kat, last question. What is up for you in 2020? What's going on? What can people expect? What can people look forward to? What sort of teases can you put out there?
What's exciting is that there's so many possibilities for what's going to happen. There are some things right now. I'm in the middle of shooting Stephen King's The Stand, which is going to be a lot of fun.
A very lighthearted, family-friendly film.
It's incredible. It's for CBS All Access. It's a 9-episode miniseries. Wow. And the cast is insane. And everybody who's working on it really is passionate about Stephen King and about the project. Yeah. And it's such a departure for me from what I've been doing. And the character as well is such a departure.
Cool.
So that's very exciting.
I'm sure your fans will love to see that.
I'm not sure when it's coming out. I assume 2020 at some point.
Google it.
Absolutely. And then we'll see about the backdoor pilot. We'll find out sometime next year if it's moving forward into series. And if not, I have some other irons in the fire that we'll see some really exciting things. I'm dipping my toe into producing and back into music like we talked about, and directing as well.
Amazing.
So I've got some irons in the fire in all of those fields, and I'm dying to dig in.
That's so cool. And for people that don't know, where can they find you across the board, social media wise?
Twitter is cat_McNamara. Instagram is cat.McNamara.
Cat. Everyone that makes time to be a guest on the podcast gets a personalized fortune cookie.
Personalized fortune
from
cookie?
Us to you. You're welcome to open it. I would recommend not eating it, but you can read the fortune that's inside.
So I have a weird thing about fortune cookies.
Oh.
In my family, somebody else always cracks the fortune cookie for it. Would you crack the fortune cookie?
This is a first. Yeah,
Thank
I will.
you.
Absolutely. Wow. That's
Thank you very much.
Your family is an interesting family.
We are an interesting bunch, but we have fun.
You guys have fun.
I can get it out of here with my fingernails.
It's, we don't make it easy for our guests.
That's all right. I'm up for a challenge. I thrive on a challenge. I love this. That's amazing. Am I supposed to read it?
If you would like to read it out loud, that'd be wonderful.
As someone as smart and talented as you guys are too nice. We think it's perhaps best that you tell us what the winning lottery numbers are. Please enunciate and repeat the numbers in case we miss them the first time around.
Yep.
You know what? I'll have to consult Sarah Lance or Barry Allen on that because they're the experts in time travel.
Fair.
And I'll get back to you. I'll, portal myself.
Fair.
And come back. And then we'll take our winnings and make our Shark Tank product.
Oh, it all works out. 2020, get ready. Things are going to be different. Thank you again for being here. This was so fun.
Thank you. I had a blast.
We'll see you guys next time on another episode of Not Too Deep. Goodbye.
Too deep, too deep, too deep. Not Too Deep with Grace Helbig.
Not Too Deep is a production of Grace Helbig Incorporated. Producer Melissa D. Montz. Camera operator Katrina Henning. Edited by Shireen Lani Yunus. Post-production sound by Chris Henry. And an extra special thanks to Flula for the theme music.